Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to how US aircraft carriers defend themselves when they're surrounded. It's a good question because even though aircraft carriers are so powerful in terms of the aircraft that are on there, other than that, I don't really know about the weapon systems that are actually incorporated into these carriers. I'm sure there must be some, but if you've got an aircraft carrier completely surrounded at all angles, you're still going to have vulnerabilities on it. So this video is going to be really interesting in explaining what those could be. So let's do it.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus channel. For nearly a century, the aircraft carrier fleet has been the staple of American naval defense. However, the ship is not foolproof, and adversaries are constantly developing technologies to penetrate the carrier's formidable line of defense. In today's episode, we will look at the multitude of threats that lie across the carrier's path, and the countermeasure efforts put in place to protect the carrier.
Is it true that carriers always travel with like 5 other ships surrounding it? I think I heard that in another video. That must be is it to protect the carrier, or is that just the way things are done?
The Mammoth Seagoing Air Base is always surrounded by the carrier strike group that consists of destroyer vessels, cruiser, air wing defense, and often with a submarine lurking under the sea surface not too far away. This line of defense protects the carrier, but they too are susceptible to attacks.
Yeah, nothing is completely invulnerable. Everything has a weakness. These are some great shots though.
The sheer scale of the carriers and their strike group may be a disadvantage in terms of speed and maneuverability, making it vulnerable to attacks from smaller armed speedboats. The smaller, fast-attacked craft lives up to its name. It has the speed and agility to deflect attacks and can carry an array of weaponry, including rocket launchers.
Still, you would need to be so brave to go up against an aircraft carrier in a speedboat, even if you have got weapons on you.
Operating in large numbers, the boats can swarm around their target while launching rocket attacks. This similar method of attack is similar to those that were conducted towards the carrier during World War II, but in the form of aerial attack instead.
Wow, look at that.
During World War II, the Kamikaze of the Japanese Special Attack Units aggressively attempted to attack the carriers by crashing onto the surrounding vessels, protecting the carrier.
Insane. Wow.
The ferocious attack was met by an array of attacks both from the Naval and Air Force protecting the carrier. The persistence of the Kamikaze paid off when one aircraft crashed itself onto the flight deck of the USS Franklin, sending it back to the US to be repaired.
Is this real footage? Is this actual real footage, or is this like from a movie?
A few months later, it returned to the sea when an undetected Kamikaze dropped 2 semi-armor-piercing bombs, hitting its hangar deck and aft, killing more than 700 crew on board.
Oh my god, 700!
Today, the scale and capabilities of the aircraft carriers have immensely improved, with the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier being the largest in the world.
048 RPM indicated answer 4.
Is the Gerald Ford, other Gerald Ford class carriers, they're nuclear powered, aren't they? I think they are.
It is difficult to remain undetected when you're made of 4 million pounds of weld metal and 20 levels above sea level. So the aircraft carriers are equipped with a separate radar band system that searches, detects, and tracks aerial targets from 100 miles away with its radar system, including the low-altitude targets.
But 100 miles, it sounds like a lot, but is it enough? Because I'm sure you could probably attack an aircraft carrier with a weapon from way further out than that. You know, let's say a land-based missile or some kind of system like that.
Its carrier wing also includes the E-2 Hawkeye, as well as the EA-18 Growler fleet to conduct electronic warfare. The E-2 Hawkeye detects and tracks adversaries from more than 340 miles away, providing vital information to the strike group to prepare ahead.
Real good. You are up, shifted. I think 33 high and factor. Up inside.
Things are huge. The size of it.
Still, an aircraft carrier is not 100% foolproof, and it can still face threats from both the sea and air. Cruise missiles, wake-homing torpedoes, and anti-ship missiles are some of the most serious threats to carriers. Militaries worldwide are beefing up their defense against the constantly improved and more lethal anti-ship missiles. They are fast, precise, and can be launched from a far distance. Lockheed Martin developed a long-range anti-ship missile that is used by the U.S. Air Force and Navy, and is estimated to have a range of about 300 nautical miles, and is equipped with automatic target matching recognition.
This is the thing. Like when the narrator mentioned that the radar on the carrier can detect weapons from up to 100 miles, that wouldn't do much against a weapon like this that can be launched from further out than that. But then again, because how long would the carrier have enough time detecting that weapon from 100 miles out to evade it? You know, like, is there anything that could be done?
And jam-resistant systems to battle the adversary's electronic warfare. Either launched from the vertical launch system of the naval ships or released from stealth aircraft like the B-1 bomber. This missile carries about 1,000 pounds of warhead, enough to cause serious damage to any seagoing vessels.
Good afternoon, Kabir 04 Charlie, Sweden identified.
I'm just getting crazy static when I engage the mic.
Say again for everybody up 01.
In order to protect itself from anti-ship missiles attack, various countermeasure systems have been put in place. From the air, fighter aircraft like the F-18 or the F-35 are ready to deploy their air-to-air missiles, targeting either a threatening aircraft or the launched anti-ship missile itself.
Dude, is that real?
Raytheon developed the AIM-120 Advanced Medium-Range Air-to-Air Missile that can travel up to 3,045 miles per hour, is equipped with an inertial guidance system with an operational range of up to 86 nautical miles.
Man, the F-35 is such a good-looking plane.
The F-35B variant, which can be launched from the amphibious assault ships, can carry 4 units of the AIM-120 with its internal weapon bay. The weapon systems on board the aircraft carriers are also designed to counter.
That's the Vulcan, isn't it? I think is it the M1 Vulcan or something?
Counter the imminent threats that surround the vessels. The close-in weapon systems mounted on the ship can detect and annihilate incoming missiles from a short distance. The Kartik, or Kashtan system that originates from the Soviet Union, can intercept an incoming attack with missiles from 6 miles away, followed by rapid-fire cannons firing at 9,000 rounds per minute for close-range attacks.
The technology behind these weapons is impressive. So impressive.
The phalanx systems on the U.S. Navy vessels works similarly to that of the Kashtan system, intercepting missile attacks from an effective range of about 1,625 yards by firing about 4,500 rounds per minute. The radar-guided system detects and identifies the fast-moving targets before automatically engaging in attacks, destroying incoming threats before reaching the ship.
That sound. It's like a buzzsaw.
The aircraft carriers of any nation are a symbol of power and pride. Several naval forces worldwide are investing billions to acquire, maintain, and protect this precious seagoing airbase from the various threats from land, sea, and air. But with the amount being spent on the aircraft carrier, it is also important to remember that the human aspect cannot be erased from the narrative.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, if you take out the human, it doesn't function. It doesn't function at all.
When it comes to protecting the aircraft carrier, it also boils down to how the systems are being managed and by whom, as well as how they may be utilized. That's the end of this.
Super interesting video. I love stuff like that because, you know, aircraft carriers are probably the most expensive component of, you know, any military's weapons, vehicles, systems in place. You know, these things cost many billions of pounds and dollars. So, you know, the technology, and not just the technology, but the methods of defending them and keeping them safe from enemy destruction, you know, it must be a high priority. And yeah, this video really answered a lot of questions for me, but I've still got a few more, to be honest. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.